You're listening to A Chapter a Day, a daily podcast. The Bible comes alive as we read a chapter out loud each day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to A Chapter a Day, where we read together a chapter of the Bible each day to give us clarity, draw us closer to God, know what His Word says. For this month of May, we've been reading 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel has 31 chapters, so we are reading one each day of May. Today is May 16th, so we are reading chapter 16 of 1 Samuel. And here's what it says. The subtitle is Samuel Anoints David. The Lord said to Samuel, "How long will you mourn for Saul, since I have rejected him as king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and be on your way. I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem. I have chosen one of his sons to be king." But Samuel said, "How can I go? Saul will hear about it and kill me." The Lord said, "Take a heifer with you and say, 'I have come to sacrifice to the Lord.' Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what to do. You are to anoint for me the one I indicate." Samuel did what the Lord said. When he arrived at Bethlehem, the elders of the town trembled when they met him. They asked, "Do you come in peace?" Samuel replied, "Yes, in peace. I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Consecrate yourselves and come to the sacrifice with me." Then he consecrated Jesse and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. When they arrived, Samuel saw Eliab and thought, "Surely the Lord's anointed stands here before the Lord." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things man looks at." Oh, such a powerful word. "Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." That's good. That's good stuff right there. That is verse 7. Let me read it again. Verse 7. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." In King James, it says, "For the Lord seeth not as man seeth." It's a powerful word. All right, going on. Verse 8. Then Jesse called Abinadab and had him pass in front of Samuel. But Samuel said, "The Lord has not chosen this one either." Jesse then had Shammah pass by, but Samuel said, "Nor has the Lord chosen this one." Jesse had 7 of his sons pass before Samuel, but Samuel said to him, "The Lord has not chosen these." So he asked Jesse, "Are these all the sons you have?" "They're still the youngest," Jesse answered, "but he is tending the sheep." Samuel said, "Send for him. We will not sit down until he arrives." So he sent and had him brought in. He was ruddy, with a fine appearance and handsome features. Then the Lord said, "Rise and anoint him. He is the one." So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers. And from that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came upon David in power. Samuel then went to Ramah. Now the Spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul, and an evil spirit, or injurious, it says, an evil spirit from the Lord tormented him. Saul's attendants said to him, "See, an evil spirit from God is tormenting you. Let our Lord command his servants here to search for someone who can play the harp. He will play when the evil spirit from God comes upon you, and you will feel better." So Saul said to his attendants, "Find someone who plays well and bring him to me." Excuse me. One of the servants answered, "I have seen a son of Jesse of Bethlehem who knows how to play the harp. He is a brave man and a warrior. He speaks well and is a fine-looking man, and the Lord is with him." Then Saul sent messengers to Jesse and said, "Send me your son David, who is with the sheep." So Jesse took a donkey loaded with bread, a skin of wine, and a young goat, and sent them with his son David to Saul. David came to Saul and entered his service. Saul liked him very much, and David became one of his armor bearers. Then Saul sent word to Jesse, saying, "Allow David to remain in my service, for I am pleased with him." Whenever the Spirit from God came upon Saul, David would take his harp and play. Then relief would come to Saul. He would feel better, and the evil spirit would leave him. You know, I will say this about this. That's the end of chapter 16. Most of the time when I hear about David going into Saul's service, it's after he slays Goliath. I didn't realize that he went into Saul's service before that happened, because they talk about how he's out there doing whatever in the fields, and then he comes and sees everybody else cowering, but I didn't realize that he was already attending Saul. He'd been anointed as king and was already attending Saul before David and Goliath happened, which is tomorrow's reading. That's chapter 17, so we will read that. So that's the first interesting thing that I found. The second interesting thing is music and the calming effect that music can have. The fact that music can calm your spirit when it's being tormented. And we know that, we've heard about music therapy and things like that, but this is just interesting that specifically they went and got somebody to play the harp and calm him down. Please calm him down. And it did, the music did. Anyway, that is today's reading, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow for a chapter day. Have a good evening.